Yo, what it do, everyone? Welcome to HCP episode 37, Homie Connect podcast, coming to you live and direct. We got Ceez in the house. Ceez, say what's up to the people.
What up, guys?
Yeah, we got Ceez in the house. You got me, Lefty. Episode 37, ladies and gentlemen. Ceez, how's it going, man?
It's going good, man. Just chilling. Same old up here in freaking Palmdale, hot as hell. Trying to stay, fresh, staying indoors, but everything's good, man. Just chilling with the family. Same thing, man. Going to church, going to work. Well, luckily the kids are on vacation right now, so that's good. So I can sleep in a little. So,
Okay.
That, we're just chilling, man. Everything's good. What about you, man?
Okay, all right. Good, dude. Like you said, it's hot. Low key, it hasn't been bad until this week. It's starting to kind of really creep up. Okay. So now it's starting to creep up. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. I think today was like 102 or something like that. Okay. But yeah, this week is going to be a hot week. It's starting to creep up. As far as June's concerned, it's been kind of cool. And when I mean cool, I mean it's been like it's been not as hot as it normally is in June. So it hasn't been too bad. And even then, it's not too bad right now. Like during the day, yeah, it's hot, bro. And anytime, and honestly, anytime you're in Arizona, the sun's trying to kill you. So if it's during the day, it's hot. So like tomorrow, we're expected to be at like 107. So all week we're expected to be like at 107. Saturday we're supposed to hit like 112. So it's hot. It's starting to get hot, but it is what it is. It's Arizona, so it's expected, But you said your kids are off on you said your kids are off, so you're getting to sleep in. Are you still going to the office, or most of the days you're kind of working from home?
No, yeah, I'm working from home Monday and Friday. Tomorrow, I'm working from home because of the whole LA riots thing. Boss is like, wow, the military's coming in, so it's okay. Work from home. I'm hoping they tell us, yo, work the whole week from home. Like, cool with me.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, we usually like working from home because it's like we don't gotta wake up early.
Right.
We don't gotta dress up. We just fucking roll out of bed into the desk and boom,
Right. Yeah.
But so tomorrow the kids are off. So, but I'm usually my dumbass is still up at fucking 5:30. I'm right there waking up my eyes like, what time is it? It's 5:30.
Right.
It's 6 o'clock. It's like fuck it, I'm awake.
Yeah,
that's it. And so
yeah. All right. I get you. Before we go any further, cheers. Forgot to do our normal cheers. I got my beer here. Yeah, it's all good.
I'm drinking cranberry juice.
Oh shit, cranberry juice. Dang, Ceez, you got a UTI or what, bro?
Yeah. Nah, bro. Cranberry juice. I just started drinking this shit like this year, and I'm like, damn, this shit's good. I didn't know this.
All right. I thought you had
cranberry juice all day.
All right. I'm starting to worry about you.
I just love it.
People are gonna think you got a UTI, bro. That's funny.
I ain't think about that, but no, I just love it, man.
All right. You know what? It's not bad. I've had it before, and it's not bad. Like once you start drinking it, you're like, oh, okay. Like I'll start craving it a little. But yeah, that's not bad. But it's funny that it's always associated with a UTI. So my bad. Now you're allowed to enjoy it as is. All right. So what else you got going on this week?
What are you drinking?
I got a beer, so I'm just drinking beer. It's been a long day, and it's been in honor of LA, it's been a rough couple of days. But drinking some Stella. Shout out to Kamish. Okay. I know I think that's Kamish's favorite beer. So So
Yeah,
shout
it's
out
up
to
there.
Commish. Yeah, right.
I know they change. They change a lot. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you usually you give him a Stella, he'll be fine. He'll be good.
Right. So yeah, I wanted something new. We had a get together this weekend for my daughter's softball team, kind of like a team building activity. So we had a pool party, and
Hmm.
my wife went to Costco, and I told her to pick up some beers, and she was, I was like, pick up some beers for the parents. And she was like, oh, they got Modelo, they got this, and I was like, I really want Modelo, but I was like, let's get some Stellas for the non-Modelo drinkers. Man, not a single
Hmm.
motherfucker drank any Stellas, bro. I was the only one drinking Modelo. So Stella. So I got a shitload of Stellas left. So I
Still,
was like, all right, whatever. It is what it is. So with
now
that
you
said,
know. Now you
cheers.
know. Now
Yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers, cheers, dog.
Cheers, doggy.
For sure.
All right. So what you got going on this week or this weekend?
What's that?
What you got going on this weekend?
I'll show you. Oh, this weekend. No, this weekend is Father's Day, of course.
Right.
So this weekend, I'm going to LA on Saturday.
Okay.
Celebrate over there with my mom's and my wife's family. Probably do a carne asada over there. I know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if her family's gonna do it or my mom's gonna do it. We don't know yet, but they're gonna do something over there Saturday. Sunday, I probably just chill here at home. Uh, I know my wife is gonna cook something for me, so we'll see what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's it, man. Just keep it here, chill. I know it's gonna be hot, so definitely don't want to be outside.
Yeah.
And just it's I'm like I don't want nothing. Like just chill. It's cool.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
for me, I'm like, just if you could cook me something, that'd be great. Like hell yeah, I love that shit. So
Yeah.
any food, she knows the food I love. So she's like anything. I was like, anything, you know what I love. If you make it, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's it, man. That's pretty much it. What about you? What are your plans?
All right. Well, before we go on my plans, what is it? Tell the people what's your favorite thing that your wifey cooks for you. What's your favorite thing to have her cook for
Oh,
you?
oh my God, there's a lot. My wife does shrimp pasta.
Okay.
Should be banging. It's so good. She does. She be doing the chilaquiles with huevos and
Oh, okay.
uh, chilaquiles is another dish that's mine. She be doing like tostadas de pollo,
Oh, okay.
pollo en ensalada. Oh, it should be good too. What else? And just like oh man, just like
Yeah.
her chicken. She be doing like some fajita chicken
Yeah.
with rice. Oh, it should be good too. And I was like, oh man,
Okay.
it's just a
All right.
lot. So it's like I
Yeah.
told her like anything you make, I'll eat it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean we'll see, we'll see.
Okay. All right. All right. As for me, I don't know what my weekend's looking like, bro. So my wife has a quinceañera that they're going to on Friday in LA. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it with them because I have work and it's like probably the worst week that the quinceañera could have fell on. So some of you know I work in education, but not at schools, more at a kind of a higher level. So
Hmm.
I got a school that I'm opening up, and this is the first week that I can actually get to that place and work on getting it up and running. So this week is crucial. So like unless a lot of progress happens, which could be, but unless a lot of progress continues to kind of happen and I can step away without having to put out any fires, I don't know that I can make it to LA. And because the quinceañera's on a Friday, like that's what makes it tough, you know. So if I go, great. You know, I feel better because, like you said, there's stuff going down in LA that I really don't want my wife and my kids to go by themselves. But it's family, so they got to go, and it's her family. So she really wants to go, but I'm a little nervous about that. If it was a Saturday, great, but then their plan would be to come back Saturday. I honestly don't know what the plan is for Father's Day. I I genuinely don't care for Father's Day.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't care. Um, so we'll see. But if they go, then the plan would be to come back Saturday. If I
Hmm.
go, I'm thinking the plan would be to come back Sunday because like I don't want to come back
Okay.
Saturday. especially because I haven't seen my mom in a hot minute. So if I do go, I might actually see you at my mom's.
Oh, okay, okay,
So
okay.
that might be kind of cool if I do go, because my mom's actually leaving to Guadalajara on
Oh,
Sunday.
okay. Oh,
So
okay,
she's
okay.
leaving to Guadalajara on Sunday. So if I do go, um,
It'll be Saturday.
yeah, I'd stay there Saturday because there's some things I want to knock out around her house, do it for her, and then we would leave Sunday on Father's Day. So honestly, I don't know what my weekend's looking like. I just know I'm nervous about my family going out to LA by themselves.
Where is the quinceañera at? Is it
I don't know. I think it's somewhere in the valley or something. So it's not in the heart of LA or anything like
Oh,
that. But
okay.
still,
It'll
like,
be fine.
yeah, but
Yeah,
still, dude,
I
like,
think I
you never know, especially like freeway closures and shit like that,
yeah.
and ICE just being stupid as fuck. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I kind of want to go, bro, because when we pass um, that California Arizona border, like, and there's like that checkpoint, I kind of want to be like, well, fuck you. You know, it's like, I just want to give the motherfuckers a big fuck you. Like, pull me over, do something.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with what's going on. So I kind of want to go just to give those motherfuckers the finger, but we'll see. We'll see how things go.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know what my weekend's looking like, so it's up in the air. So we'll see how that goes. And then I will be in LA the weekend after that. So we're going to go to I'm taking my oldest daughter to a thing called VidCon.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a convention for all these different YouTubers and all that bullshit.
Mm,
And so we bought tickets for the four of us. I don't know if the four of us are going to go,
mm,
because my youngest daughter probably has a round robin kind of tournament. We don't know yet if the team's gonna participate or not. But if we do, then she can't go because it's that weekend.
mm.
So if you're interested, I may have 2 tickets to hook you up if you want to take one of your boys to it. I don't know if they're into that kind of stuff or not, but if not, then all
Um,
four of us would go. But I don't know if all four of us are gonna go to LA next weekend.
all right, yeah, we'll keep in touch. But I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I'm sure he does.
Oh.
But I have to remember. Well, now I have two little kids because Emiliano is also the ones like on YouTube too. So I don't know if he follows anybody, but
Gotcha. Okay.
or I don't know if Dylan follows any or if he's interested in like that type. Like, oh, I follow this
Yeah.
guy. I really haven't seen him do that, but I'll
Oh,
ask him.
okay. Yeah, no, my daughters do. They follow like specifically one content creator for like Minecraft, some
Mm-hmm.
chick named like Afmal or whatever. They love her, and so my oldest
Oh
one
shit.
knows that she's gonna be there, and she absolutely loves her. So I put a challenge towards her at the beginning of the school year. I was like, "Yo, you can't fuck up. you can't be bad at school." And I mean, she held her own. So it is what it is.
Mm,
I gotta come through. I gotta deliver. So it is what it
yeah.
is. So we'll see how it goes, depending on my youngest daughter's tournament. If they don't
Mm-hmm.
have it, or if we don't participate in that tournament, then we'll go as a family of four. If not, it'll just be my oldest daughter and I. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know how that
Yeah.
goes. All right, so
Yeah.
let's move on
Let me
into
know.
some sports right quick. NBA. I know we don't really cover NBA, but we gotta at least mention for the ladies and the gentlemen that NBA it's in its championship and hasn't really gotten talked about much. So, Ceez, what do you got to tell us about NBA and the championship? Who's in it, and why don't we care?
Yeah, so pretty much the championship, NBA championship is between the Thunder, Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Indiana Pacers. We don't care because we do not live in those cities, and pretty much they're in the East Coast or closer to the East Coast. So we have no rooting interest in it. So honestly, for me, it's just on the TV, and I watch it, and then I'm doing something else, or I watch it here, and then I'm doing something else. I'll get to it probably in the fourth quarter when I know it's getting down to like the end, and I'm like, okay, this is the fourth quarter. Let me sit down and listen. But
Right.
yeah, dude, it's just that. Just the series right now is tied 1-1. The next game is tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. on ABC. It's going to be in Indiana, so that's going to be the first game in Indiana. Indiana did pull out an upset in game one versus the Thunder. They played a really good game, but Oklahoma City Thunder are still the favorites to win the
Mm,
series.
okay.
But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. It's Shea Gilchrist Alexander's the MVP of this season for the NBA, and he's um, he's playing and he's playing good. But we'll see. It's still 7 game series, and it's the series is tied 1-1. But it's like you said, like we have no rooting interest in it.
Right.
We just I just watch because it's the championships, and you should watch
Yeah.
because it is entertaining, and it's honestly it's kind of like the only thing to watch. Either it's
Right.
basketball or NBA. I mean basketball or baseball, and it's like I'm
Right.
really not watching baseball that much. So let me just watch the championship and see how it goes. So yeah.
All right. And how did Indiana get in there when the Thunder had a way better record and Indiana did they just keep kind of pulling upsets after upsets on their end?
Yeah, pretty much. They just upsets after upsets. They get on a little streaky run. They're young players, and they can shoot and they can defend. So that's
Okay.
a good combination to have, and that's pretty much what's carried them into the championships. They shoot good, they defend because they're young, they move their feet fast, and they got that energy. And so, the ball has bounced their way so
Right.
far, and they've made it into the championship. So yeah,
Were they
but
underdogs against the Knicks
yeah, the
and they
Knicks were
beat the Knicks?
yeah, the Knicks they were underdogs, so the Knicks were more experienced. The Knicks had a better ranking, I guess.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's just Pacers. Just they're young, they play defense, and they shoot the ball very very well.
Yeah. Well, and they also in the
Yeah,
beginning of the playoffs, right? They upset Cleveland, who Cleveland was
yeah,
number 1 in their
exactly.
division.
The only thing with Cleveland is they had injuries on their team, so that
Mm,
kind of benefited in the Pacers.
right.
But other than that, is just they shot the ball well. They've been shooting the ball really well. I'm telling you that game one where they beat Oklahoma City Thunder at home in
Right.
Oklahoma, they
Right.
they shot the ball very very well, and that's how they pulled off the upset that game one.
Okay.
Um, and but Oklahoma City should win the series because they have better players. But
Yeah.
like I said, in the Pacers, they go on this little hot shooting streak where
Yeah.
it's hard to stop them when they're making buckets, and
Yeah.
that's how pretty much they got into the playoffs, into the championship. So, but yeah, man,
Okay.
it's like I said, tomorrow's game three.
hmm It's in
It's
Indiana.
and tomorrow's a big game too because whoever wins tomorrow, Indiana, whoever wins tomorrow is I think it's going to be a series too. And game three,
Yeah.
you have a 2-1 lead, and that's a big advantage.
Mm. Okay.
So
All right.
we'll see.
All right. Another sport that's in their championship that we haven't really talked about because we don't really keep track of it anymore. We used to when we were younger. We were big time fans of this sport when we were younger, and we just kind of tapered off. But the NHL is also in their championship, and in the NHL, it's the Florida Panthers versus the Edmonton Oilers. Again, two teams that we don't really keep track of hockey much anymore, and definitely wouldn't give two shits about either team. Um, so, excuse me. So I know they're Florida's up 2-1 on Edmonton, and I think the last game they
Hmm.
played, Florida just smacked the shit out of Edmonton 6-1. But any
Yep.
thoughts on any thoughts on this the series again? Like you mentioned earlier off air, you basically said that NHL is just stupid for the way they do their shit. They're in the shadows of the NBA. So, any
Hmm.
thoughts on that?
Uh, I mean, thoughts on that is just same thing. Like off air, like you said, like who won the championship last year. I told him Florida did. You're like, oh shit, I didn't even know. And
I
they're
thought
like,
it'd been a
bro,
minute.
that's
I
why
thought it'd been a minute since Florida
exactly.
had been in the championship.
I'm like, bro, they won it last year. Like, but nobody knows. Like, the only people that know is like probably the East
Die
Coast
hard, yeah, like yeah,
and
for yeah, East Coasters, yeah.
but like you ask anybody who won the cup, and they're like, I don't know, I don't care. But yeah, that's it. It's like the only I guess for me, I'm rooting for Edmonton because I know they're one of the teams that haven't won it in a while. So I'm like, okay, give it
Yeah,
to
that's
them.
true.
And,
Right,
and it's of course it's in Canada. It's Edmonton is like in the middle of Canada and shit. And it's like fuck,
right,
you go
right.
there, it's just snow and forest and shit. So I'm like, all right, cool, they deserve it. Fuck it, give it to them.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only reason why I really give it to Edmonton. They've been in it for a minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, go. But yeah, NHL, they're in the shadow of the NBA. We like honestly, I don't watch the NHL. I guess I am watching it right now because what they have it as is today's the NHL game, championship game. Tomorrow's the NBA championship game.
Hmm.
Thursday is the NHL. So it's like I'm like, okay, there's no sports on other than baseball. Like fuck
Right.
it, I'm gonna just watch NHL because it's there. Like I'll just
Right.
have it, leave it on the background and shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're like I said, they're in the shadow of the NBA because that's the way they pay to they. Of course, they got a contract with TNT, Warner Brothers Media, whatever's,
Yeah.
and ESPN. And when NHL signed those contracts, the NBA and the NHL, no, the ESPN said, you know what, we're gonna, get your games on our schedule, so we
Right.
could air, NBA, NHL, NBA, NHL, and fuck your
Hmm.
fans, and fuck everything else.
Fuck your
You guys are gonna
fans.
follow. Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, like, why are you guys following the NHL? Why are you guys following NBA? Like, just
Hmm.
like I said, start the season either earlier or start it later, and
Yeah.
have the NBA have the championship, before the NBA championship or after. Don't have it in the middle, right next to the NBA.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just kills me, man. Kills me. But yeah, it's that's it. That's the NHL.
Yeah. Well,
Something
in
we
that
should
case,
talk about because
yeah.
they're better.
Well, fuck Florida. Fuck Florida.
Fuck Florida too. That's why I'm like, fuck Florida. Fucking
Yeah. Fuck
idiots.
Florida. We'll go with Edmonton. Let's go Edmonton.
Yeah,
Let's get your championship. You haven't won in a hot minute. So yeah, and yeah, you're right.
yeah,
It's on TNT, True TV, and Max. So if you've got one of those and you give a shit about hockey, go ahead and watch it. But I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe I'll throw it on the back. I don't have time, bro, to watch TV. I got no fucking time, dog. Like, I mean,
No,
shit. I literally got home, ran home and jumped on the computer. I don't have time, bro. So we'll see.
yeah,
You know, we'll see. But like you mentioned, it's not even a sport I care about. Um,
yeah.
well, it is a sport I care about, but not like that. Uh, MLB, not much going on.
Hmm.
In terms of baseball, like you mentioned all the time, it's an extremely long season. We're barely about 55 games in. At about maybe 55, no, maybe about 64 games. Um so we're not even halfway there, right? um LA is still holding on to first in the West in the National League, and the Guardians are mopping up a horrible third place in the Central. So there's not much going on in terms of our teams. Dodgers is still holding their own, even though they've been struggling a little bit. Um, I know they split their last 10, so they're 5-5 in their last 10.
Yeah,
Um, and is the some of that attributed to injury?
as always, fucking pitching injuries. It's like stupid Dodgers.
Yeah,
Injuries, and I think they're just keeping it safe because they know. Honestly, I think they know already. Once you get to the All Star game into August, that's when you ramp it up. You start getting the guys ready for the the playoffs and all that stuff. So right now it's like, cool. You got a little injury, all right. just sit down for get on the injury list. You got
Mm-hmm.
it. But like you said, it's what 60 games in. You still got like 100 something more probably.
Like 120, no?
We're fine.
It's like
Yeah.
120, bro.
I
That's
was like,
insane.
like you're good. Like just like I
Yeah,
said, wait until the All Star game. After that, then you
yeah,
start wrapping it up. Then I think I'm gonna pay attention and be like, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna see who's
right.
on the injury list, who hit streak, who's behind us, where the Padres at, where the Giants at, the D backs. Let's see
Yeah,
where all those teams at. And that's when I start to pay attention. Like, oh, okay, cool.
yeah,
Let me see what's going on.
yeah. I was actually
But the
very
interesting part, I do want to give a shout out.
yeah. Go ahead.
I do want to get for the shout out Shohei Ohtani. Shohei
Mm-hmm.
Ohtani again, MVP season, and also on the American League side, Aaron Judge, another MVP season.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Ugh.
interesting is like I don't know if there's never been a back to back same division or the same back to back MVPs for each division. So I'm like, damn, that'll be some shit.
That would be some shit. Yeah,
Yeah. So I was like, okay, shout out to both of them.
yeah, yeah. I was watching the game on Saturday. I had we like I mentioned earlier. We had my daughter's
Okay.
softball team over for their first official kind of team bonding activity. So pool party at our house or whatever. And they wanted we had a thought about having a TV set up to watch some softball. But prior to that, before everybody showed up, I had the Dodger game going on. And yeah, I was
Versus,
watching the
Yankees, right?
no against St. Louis. So it's the one where Yamamoto was
Yeah.
pitching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yamamoto was pitching, and it sucked too because like it what they said was true. Like every time Yamamoto is pitching, it's like the Dodgers won't score. Like Yamamoto's record is not that great, but it's because the Dodgers just won't score. When he's pitching, they won't score, but it's not like he's giving up a ton of runs. They just won't score for him. And that's what it was, bro. It was like the score was fucking I think it was what was it? 0-0 up until the 8th inning, and then like the Cardinals scored a run, and then the Dodgers at the top of the 9th scored a run. So it was like 1-1, and then everything was going fine, and then at the end, like it fell apart, and Dodgers loaded. I think I don't know if they loaded the base. I think they did load the bases at one point. They even shifted the outfield. They shifted the outfield in at one point to try and have more infielders, and then it ended on a hit out to the one spot. And I was like, oh, damn. But it was a good game. It was a nice pitching battle. It was kind of nice. Like, we've talked about it, right? You put the game on, you leave it in the background. So I was in the backyard, fixing up the backyard, getting everything organized. And it was kind of nice to, like, have a beer, organizing shit. And I had the TV outside. The Dodger game was going on. And I was like, all right, let's go Dodgers. And I was like, fuck. Like, it was kind of nice to see them score. And then I was like, oh, they tied it up. And then it just fell apart in the bottom of the 9th. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, damn it. But yeah, I thought it was a trip that the announcers were like, yeah, they were giving out the stats. And it's like, fuck, dude, they've put up like no runs every time Yamamoto has pitched. Like, it's just very little runs every time Yamamoto pitches. I was like, that's crazy. Even though he's balling, but you wouldn't be able to tell because of the stats and his record. But he's balling.
I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't know why, but I think it has to do because I think I read the article or I read a little passage where it's like, I think it's because he pitches. He's right now the third pitcher pitching. I think on their rotation. I think they said like, oh, by the time he pitches, like the Dodgers are probably tired, or the batters are, going through it in the third game. So, I mean, that could be something. I was like, could be. But,
I mean, that makes sense because like Ohtani was 1 for 4. Freeman and Will Smith were 0 for 4. They didn't do shit. Only one that was balling was fucking Mookie Betts, who was 3 for 5 in that game. And everybody else really didn't do that well either. Kike came in to pinch hit, and he got a hit. But, yeah, dude, everybody was stinking up the place except for Mookie. But, yeah, that makes sense, dude. That makes sense. But, yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'm like, maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense. But the reason that we had the TV on because my daughter is in a club softball team, was for the inaugural season of the professional softball league, which is known as the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. And the MLB has made a very large investment and significant investment into this league. It's so much so that they brought it into their MLB app, MLB World, said, we're going to air some of their games. So if you want to watch AUSL, which is the Pro Softball League, you got to make sure you download the app. So we wanted our girls to have that going on while they were having fun and everything else. And of course, you know, some of our coaches were interested because some of them saw these girls who were playing in college ball before they made it to the professional level. So it was kind of cool, especially because it was the inaugural season. So that's why I had it on. And so there's only, from what I understand, there's only 4 teams. All the girls have played college before, so it was kind of nice. Some of them, I want to say, may have been out of college for a bit. So some of these girls are on the older end of the age, I guess. So it's like they've been out of college, but they're still solid because maybe they've been playing here and there in different leagues, and they got drafted too. So that was kind of cool to see. So it was kind of cool to see, like, the news to be like, oh, the first home run of the AUSL. Oh, the first hit of the AUSL. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, we had that going on, getting our daughters to watch. You know, at one point, I mean, I'll be honest with you, our girls didn't give a shit. They were having a blast in the pool. They were running all over the place. It was more like the parents were sitting there watching some of the game. We're drinking here and there, eating. So, but it was like I said, it was nice to have it on the background, and it's kind of nice to see that the MLB actually put some money into them. They're like, yeah, they think it's something special. So that's pretty damn cool, you know. And I'm curious to see where it goes with this league, starting 4 teams, see where it goes, and it's kind of nice, right? Like, I mean, think about it, dude. Maybe I'm a little bit more biased, but like, these girls in college have been playing since they were little, right? They've been playing since they were as old as my daughter. And like, for it to end once you get to college, that's pretty fucking shitty. Like, you know, give them something to like look forward to. Now, I don't know what salaries look like. I don't know. I don't even know if they're making more than the pitcher for Texas Tech. So I don't know if you know, college athletes get paid now, right? And the World Series just ended earlier this week for college softball, and Texas Tech lost to Texas, which was crazy that they both made it. But Texas Tech has a pitcher. Her name is Nija or Nijari, but I think they call her Nija. And this girl's a beast, bro. I mean, she played for Stanford. She's a pitcher, but she's also a slugger. And so she played for Stanford last year, and this year she's the first female college athlete, to get paid $1 million to transfer and go play for another team. So Texas Tech paid her $1 million, bro, to go play for them, and she took them all the way to the World Series, bro. I mean, this girl's a fucking stud. So she took them all the way to the World Series. Unfortunately, they lost, but like, it's kind of cool, right? That like someone like her, bro, like has somewhere else to go in the future other than to be like, okay, great, thanks, you did your college and bye. You know, like, no, if she's that good, yeah, that kind of sucks, right? I mean, they've been playing their whole fucking life. Like, it's kind of nice that they got somewhere to go afterwards if they're talented enough, and that's kind of the trajectory of their career. Then fuck it, let them go do that. Again, I don't know how well it pays because she might be making more money in college than she might be making at the pro level, but at least there's a next step, right? And if you're playing for the love of it, I'm sure that's awesome. So yeah, man, the inaugural season of AUSL was this weekend. So we'll see
Mm-hmm.
how that goes. Maybe I'll start covering that a little bit more, uh, since I am involved in the softball world.
No, yeah, you're right. It's like you said, it is unfortunate that after college it's like pretty much you're like for girls softball. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
cool, go start your profession somewhere else.
yeah,
Like, it's not baseball for definitely not.
yeah.
So yeah,
Right.
it's cool that I think that's cool. I could hopefully it grows. It grows to more teams, and there's a draft or there's some type of free agency where they could go pick up a player and that
Mm-hmm.
softball player could continue after college because as we
Mm-hmm.
know college is it's they say it's amateur, but I mean, yeah, like I'm pretty sure the colleges are gonna be like, you're a softball player, you're not gonna get no $1 million, you're gonna get like chunk change because you don't bring in
Mm-hmm.
the ratings like the football players or the NBA or the basketball players.
Right.
So either you take this money or you play with us, or stop being an athlete. Now
Right.
it's like, cool, there's an actual league where it's like, all right, cool, you could go be an athlete after college.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
shout out to them, and hopefully it continues going up, man.
Yeah, yeah. So that'll be cool, man. That'll be cool to watch. I'll cross my fingers for him. Put the good juju vibes out there and see
Yeah.
how far my daughter's stuff goes.
No,
Again, doesn't
and I
matter. She
can't.
doesn't make it to the pros. I don't care as long as she keeps playing until she loves it.
No, look, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Just like you just I think as a parent, of course, you want to see your kids happy. As
Right,
a
right, right.
fan, you just want to be like, yeah, like I'm gonna watch because I want these people to get ratings, and then I want sponsors to come and advertisers to come and
Mm-hmm.
get in with them
Mm-hmm.
because you do want something like that to grow, and
Yeah.
it's very very good, man. Hopefully, I'll keep an
Yeah.
eye out for them. And the only thing I wish they would. I know they have four
No.
teams, but I think they're all in the middle of the country type of thing.
Yeah, they all play in one
Hopefully they get
stadium.
like a
Like,
West
yeah.
Coast team where it would be like, all right, cool,
Yeah, that would be dope, dude. Yeah,
yeah.
that would be dope. And I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, softball, I don't know what it is about softball. I don't know if it's how it's structured. I don't want to say that I'm being biased because obviously, right? But it's almost more exciting than baseball. It's weird. Like it's almost more exciting than baseball. I don't know if it's
Mhm.
because like I don't know, dude. It's just there's something to it. It's weird. And the College World Series, bro, that shit was fire. Like I'm not gonna lie, dude, it was fire. Especially as
Right.
a UCLA fan, and UCLA was in the thick of it. They
Yeah.
they were close. Unfortunately, they didn't make it, and they were knocked out by well, Texas Tech sent them into the losers bracket, and then Tennessee, I think, finished them off.
Okay.
Um, but dude, like UCLA, like some of these games, bro, last minute heroics, walk off home runs. Oh my god, bro, it was
Mhm.
it was epic. It was just fucking epic.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool, dude. It's pretty cool. The rules are a little different. I will say, there is some rules that are starting, in
Mhm.
my opinion. I'm just barely now getting really into it, but they do challenges, and
Oh, okay.
and it's getting a little ridiculous, bro. Where it's like they're challenging just for the fuck of it. So like, if somebody hits a home run, they'll challenge it. Like, oh, I think the runner left early. Like
Oh, really?
in hopes of like, oh shit, let's see if they actually, like, whatever. Let's just use one of our challenges
Oh,
and see
okay.
if they left early, even though they didn't really leave early. They're just throwing that shit out there. You're like, oh, it's fucking dumb. And then they have a rule where they're really enforcing interference,
Mhm.
and like that means that like you can't have your foot in the runner's path. And some of these plays, bro, it's like, dude, can we
Detrimental.
it's
Yeah.
detrimental to the game, right? Like you could see, like for me, it's weird. It gave me a better understanding why the NFL is so resistant to like letting you challenge every fucking play, because then the coaches are just gonna
Mhm.
milk that shit for what it's worth, and it's going to take away from the game. But like it's like they get two
Yeah.
challenges. I get it, but it's like, and then some of those were like the foot was barely in the way, but the runner was like way the fuck out. Like the runner had no fucking hope. They were going to be out anyways. And it was like, nope, after looking at the video, it was interference because the defender's foot was in the runner's path. And it's like, yeah, but the motherfucker was out by a mile, so it wouldn't matter if the foot was in the way. Like, I'd understand if it was a bang play, right? And the foot being in the way, like, maybe got in the way of the guy person being safe. But, like, motherfucker got thrown out by a mile. Like, really? Like, oh, come on. So there's that weird little aspect. So hopefully they'll fix that. Again, I haven't been watching softball long enough to know how long that's been a thing. But I, as an outsider and a newbie looking, I'm like, oh, that's not really entertaining. That's kind of a buzzkill. But yeah, man. Hopefully, like you said, AUSL will step up and have an amazing kind of season, and they'll grow from there. And I would love to root for a West Coast team. That'd be epic. Even if we could take Ellie to a couple of West Coast games. I've taken her to a couple ASU games. And we've tried to time it where if we were in LA, we wanted to take her to a UCLA game. Didn't work, but shout out to number 15, Jordan Woolery for the Bruins. That's my little one's favorite player. So, you know, she was a big fan of her. So hopefully we can keep watching her play. But yeah, we'll see how the AUSL turns out.
Keep us updated.
Will do. Moving on to the main sport that you and I love and support is the NFL. What was the biggest news that you would say flew under the radar? Because I will say it's funny that you put it on the fucking text group or whatever for us, and no one said a peep. I was dying that you're like so and so to this team, and no one blinked, bro. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
So fill us in. What should have been the big news that it seemed like no one really cares, not even the NFL?
Oh, was it Aaron Rodgers
Mm-hmm.
to the Steelers?
Mm-hmm.
Or that's it. It's just 1 year.
That was it.
1 year. I think it was like 13 mil. I think it was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which was. Everybody's like, it's Aaron Rodgers. It's the Steelers. Everybody's like, we knew this was coming, but okay, cool, all right.
Right, yeah.
Move on.
Right.
Yeah, it was one of those stories. It's big news, but at the same time, you're like, we kind of knew this, and it kind of sucks for both teams, for like Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers.
Right.
Because like both of you guys are good organizations, and I'm sure Aaron Rodgers is kind of good,
right?
But like guys, like you're old, you're what's his name, Mike Tomlin, man.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tomlin, it is now on the hot seat, like dude, like,
yeah.
I don't know what you're gonna do now. Yeah, old Aaron Rodgers.
Those are two egos right there that I'm curious to see.
Yeah, and like you said. Man, Aaron Rodgers already missed OTAs, even though he is old. Mm-hmm. He's a veteran. But it's like, dude, if it's your team, kind of get in there and meet
right.
him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure for him. He's like, dude, I just want to go in there and throw footballs and fine, But oh yeah, dude, we'll see. It's gonna be news worthy. I'm sure there's gonna be cameras there every time. There's gonna be a hot topic every time, every week. But yeah, that was news that everybody saw coming. I guess everybody knew about, but for somehow it just happened right now in like early June, and it's like, oh hey, here you go.
No one gave a shit, bro. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. I will say I don't dislike him as much as I hated Brady, but it's a different dislike, I would say. But so I don't really give a shit about Aaron Rodgers. Is a Cali boy, but fuck him. And yeah, I'm curious to see. I think it's going to be a train wreck of a situation in Pittsburgh. even though
Yeah.
there's a possibility that maybe they say all the right things. Oh, it's going well. Oh, he's a great leader. But I mean, let's talk about who they have at Pittsburgh. You've got Jalen Warren, which Jalen Warren's not bad. In fact, he showed a lot, right? But behind him, you've got, I think it's a rookie, Caleb Johnson. Is it a rookie? I think it's a rookie. Yeah, it's a rookie. Third round pick. And then your receiver is DK Metcalf. Okay. Amazing receiver.
DK.
Then you've got Robert Woods. And you've got Calvin Alston. Like, how well is that going to work out for Aaron Rodgers? And then, okay, you've got Pat Freiermuth. Okay, but like, but you're essentially DK Metcalf and Pat Freiermuth.
And I'm telling you, it's going to be one of those seasons where it's like, Mike Tomlin gets us to 9 wins. Good enough for us.
9-8, bro. 9-8. Yeah, 9-8. Above 500 again.
Yep. Above 500. Just got there. Cool. Yeah. Got another season.
Oh my God. I'm curious to know how you're feeling if you're a Pittsburgh fan. If you're a Pittsburgh fan, how are you feeling?
You should know it's Aaron Rodgers.
He's going to be a cancer to that team, to that locker room, bro.
Oh, yeah. Like, no doubt. Because it's like, why would he... We all know who Aaron Rodgers is and what he does. He just... It's all about himself. It's nothing about the team. It's all about, fuck it, I'm going to go in there and do my job, throw the ball, and, fuck going out with you guys. Peace, I'm out. And that's it. Like, oh, dude. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's Pittsburgh. Like I said, they're a good run organization, and I don't know. They haven't had it for a while now, but they still continue to get those 9-win seasons, and Mike Tomlin is still there. But man, I think this is it for him. I think
You think this is his last season?
It should be.
Ooh.
But with that organization, knowing them that they, want to keep it together, they're not an organization that changes coaches all the time. I think if he gets 9 wins, they're gonna be like, all right, cool, continue.
Yeah. Man, that's another season of just over 500.
Yep.
That's
crazy, man. That'd be crazy.
That's interesting. Other news that kind of hit before that, and at one point they were talking about releasing this player, or the thought was they might get released. Stephon Diggs was former Buffalo Bill, by the way, now with the Patriots. Good old Stephon Diggs, who's also, I guess, I don't know, dating Cardi B, right? Apparently, and then I even heard there was some drama between is it Offset being upset at Diggs, or at least because their kid between Cardi B and Offset was wearing braids the same way that Diggs was. So I heard there was some drama there. Yep. But the story is about where potentially New England was talking about cutting him was for what happened on the boat with a bunch of female companions he had on there, and the possibility of some booger sugar being involved. What'd you hear about that?
Nah, yeah, it was exactly that. Like they had him on camera, dumbass. Like what surprises me the most is like, dude, you're a high profile player. Like, don't you recognize there's a camera right there in front of you? Like, and don't you recognize that you shouldn't be like showing stuff, in front of that camera? Dude, it's just stupidity at its best. Like, dude, like, and even before that, shouldn't you tell whoever's filming, like, yo, no pictures on the boat, like, no cameras, no, don't record. Like, If you're gonna
Right.
record, like do it after or do it before, not during our trip where we're all having fun. Like stop, and it's like, oh, you fucking idiot. But he got caught, and yes, everybody's
Yeah.
saying, like, dude, that is like pink cocaine. That's what it is. I don't know why he had it. He just had it, and I think he got caught. I think they called him out on it, and I think the next week he showed up to practice. Like, oh, hey guys, I'm here. Sorry, I'm off the boat now. I'm here.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, he's fucking dumbass. Just bad way to start. And for New England, suck it, assholes. That's what you get. uh, but yeah, it was bad
Yeah.
look for Stephon Diggs and the Patriots because yeah, no.
Yeah. And they chose not to cut him. They chose not to cut him.
Yeah,
So I
they chose.
mean, I would assume he's going to keep, his nose clean. Pun intended there. Um,
Yep.
but I don't know. Do you think he's going to have any success in New England?
I think he can, and I think he will. The only thing, I mean, he's a veteran player now, so I don't think he's gonna do that much impact. And honestly, to me, I don't believe in Drake May. I think he's an average
Really?
quarterback.
Okay.
I think they're hyping him up more than he should be because he's a white boy in New England, and they're hyping him up to be like, oh, the next, you know, Tom Brady type of shit. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, he didn't show me nothing last year that I would have been like, yo, this motherfucker is it. Like, oh my god, yeah, no. I think
Right.
they're hyping him up too much. Yeah, I think it's that's it. It's just Drake May and nothing else. And for Stephon Diggs, I think this is probably his last ride. He
Okay.
went there because he followed the money, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. After this team, I think they're gonna be like, nah, dude, you got caught on the boat with that shit. Uh, and then if he comes out and has like a subpar season, they're gonna be like, nah, we're good. Like they paid you all that money, let them pay you, and that's it.
Yeah, I think he's on a shorter leash.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, in other news, aside from Stephon Diggs, not much going on other than Niners made some moves. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, man. Like my Niners, they traded for a defensive end, a pass rusher, pretty much. What is it, Bryce Huff? The good thing I like about that trade is that we let the Eagles. We traded with the Eagles. Right now, it's a fifth round pick, based on
Mm-hmm.
incentives, based on his stats. Next year, if he does well, then that pick moves up to a fourth round pick. If he does average, it stays at the fifth round for next year. And it's a conditional pick, so it's like it's not one of our original picks wherever we land or whatever. But the other
Right.
good thing is that the Eagles, he's due, I believe he's due 14, something like that, 14
Yeah.
million next year. The Eagles are paying him 9 million, and then the Niners are paying the rest. So I was like, all right, cool. Like we're not paying all of his contract next year, so the Eagles pay 9, we pay the rest. Perfect. And I think the good thing also about him is that he did good on what's his name, Robert Salah's defense with the
Defense.
Jets. Yeah, with the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got traded or he signed with the Eagles, and he
And
didn't do good because the
he
Eagles had
didn't
a
do.
different
Yeah.
system.
Okay.
Yeah, and so now he's going back to Robert Salah's defense.
You're
So
right.
they're like, "Yo, it's a pickup because he did good with this coach. He didn't
Right.
do good with this other coach, other system."
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a 1 year deal. If you could do it, great. We get 1 year.
Right.
Bam. Hopefully he stays healthy and everything turns out good and he produces because we definitely need that pass rush. And I like
Mm.
the trade. I definitely like the trade.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know he stunk it up with the Eagles. In
Yeah.
fact, I think he was hurt for part of it, and
Mm-hmm.
then I know he didn't get any playing time, not even in the postseason. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. I remember him from his time with the Jets. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but yeah, you got a 1 year prove it deal. I like the idea of bringing him back to Salah, see if he can kind of get that going again. Um, hey, at this rate, maybe that 1-year deal will work out better than the Bills at Joey Bosa's 1-year deal. I mean,
Yeah.
Joey Bosa's already hurt, so they're hoping he comes back for training camp. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, you guys
I
are
would.
off to a better 1-year start.
Yeah.
Um, and then before that, I mean, the only other thing going on really in the NFL is Mr. James Cook is not showing up to OTAs. Doesn't plan to be there. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh man, bad. I mean, it sucks for James Cook because I know he wants to be part of the Buffalo. I know I read that
Mm-hmm.
he's not communicating with the Bills, and he's put up his house up for sale in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, that sucks. And of course, as a fan, you want to see the players get paid because you're like,
Right.
dude, he deserves it. Um, but at the same time, you kind of understand the organization because
Mm-hmm.
they got to pay the other players,
Right.
unfortunately, and it's the running back, the whole running back. They they get injured, or after we pay them, they start going downhill. So hopefully they find a solution. As
Yeah.
as a sports fan, I'm sure as a Bills fan, you want them to find a common ground, and like
Right.
hopefully they get it. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks for James Cook. Hopefully he can play and he gets his money, his deserved money. But
Right.
man, it's bad because it's a running back position, and you're just like, oh, dude,
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
go again. Another running back. What about you,
Right.
man? What are your opinion?
Um, like you, first and foremost, I want to see players get paid. They work hard. They put their bodies on the line. Right. They've been doing this since they were kids. So I want James Cook to get paid. Does he deserve what he's asking for? I don't know about that. You know, you're asking for money that puts you close to sometimes some of these running backs. Like, we can't assume that every running back that has a good season is on the same level of a Derrick Henry or a Saquon Barkley. I mean, those guys are few and far between, right? Just like not every quarterback is an elite quarterback. Not every running back is an elite running back. And when they do have a successful season, you kind of have to look at all the variables as to why they had a successful season. And one of the things that I think goes underrated in Buffalo, or doesn't really get looked at, is Buffalo had one of the better run blocking lines in the NFL. Probably top 5, probably top 3. So we had an amazing, and we've had one for a while. And so if you really look at it, like all 3 of our running backs, from our rookie Ray Davis last year to
Mm-hmm.
Ty Johnson, our third string running back, like they all had pretty productive seasons. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to sit there and be like, oh shit, Buffalo hit on all their running backs that they picked up. Like, no, they did really, really well. But like, Ty Johnson's a bit of a journeyman, right? He didn't do this shit with the Jets. Ray Davis is a rookie, and he did pretty damn well for a rookie. So you got to assume that part of it was that offensive line. And for you to be like, well, no, James Cook can go to another team and produce like Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry. It's like, are we fooling ourselves, right? Because like a Saquon, he can go somewhere else and produce. A Derrick Henry, he
Mm-hmm.
can go somewhere else and produce. They were producing when their teams weren't great, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's the part that you kind of have to really understand. But like, as a football player, they got to try and get their money. Now
Mm-hmm.
with James Cook, I'm not too worried because, and I mentioned this early on, he's on a rookie contract. So it's not like he's got a bunch of money where he can sit out and be like, well, fuck you, I ain't playing. Whatever, I'm gonna sit on my money. He ain't got no money. He's a rookie. He's playing on a rookie
Yeah.
contract. So yeah, I'm sure he's got some money, but he doesn't have enough money to take the hit on the fines that he's gonna get. And again, he's not a Saquon Barkley, and he's not a Derrick Henry. Can he get there? Maybe, I don't
Yeah.
know. But at this moment in time, he's not one of those guys. And so I think this is just kind of the name of the game. He's going to hold out for OTAs. He may miss the first day of training camp, whatever. It's all part of the show and whatever. And then he's going to show up and then he'll play. And maybe he'll ball out this year because of that. Maybe he will ball out because he really wants his money and he deserves to get paid. I don't deny that he deserves to get paid. And hopefully it's with Buffalo. I like James Cook. I like James Cook a lot. Hopefully Buffalo and him can reach an agreement. But if he's chasing the money, which it sounds like he is, then he's probably going to go to the highest bidder, and we'll see what that really was like. Because if he goes to the highest bidder and they don't have a great offensive line, then we're really going to know, was that worth it for him, you know? So
Yeah,
we'll see. I'm not too worried about it. I just think it's par for the course right now with the whole dance.
did did Buffalo sign or draft a rookie running back this year?
I don't remember if we did. No, we didn't. No, we didn't draft the rookie running back.
Yeah, I mean, that's another. The other thing that's unfortunate for the running backs that's kind of killing them is that I'm sure the Bills and any NFL team are like, look, we can find your replacement on a player that's non-drafted, a non-drafted free agent, and they're out there, to just give that player an opportunity, and he might ball out, because the one I'm thinking about is Jordan Mason. I think we brought in Jordan Mason as undrafted free agent rookie, and he's balling out, so it's like there's players out there that could easily take his job and shit, and they cost way cheaper. So that's another bad thing about the running back situation. Is like there's a shitload of running backs to choose from.
Right.
They're not all coming from like a high university or very popular on TV and shit, but hopefully he gets his money. Hopefully he gets signed that contract, and like you said, hopefully in training camp, he's ready. But yeah, I agree with you that he's on that rookie contract and he doesn't have a lot of money, so I think the leverage is on the Bills. So they just have to sit and wait and just hope he accepts that contract offer. So
right, yeah. I mean, hey, if he leaves, might work out for Mr. Frank Gore Jr. to get a little bit more playing time. He is very deep in our running back stable, and he is on the practice squad. So, like you say, you never know. I mean, he's got a year under his belt now, so we'll see how that goes. But you just never know. But yeah, that's going to do it for the NFL. That doesn't really, like I said, it's a little bit of a slow time in the NFL right now. Let's talk about something that we kind of teased last week or last podcast, and let's move on to Severance. Where are you at on Severance? This is let's go into a bit of a dive here and let's find out what is going on with Severance.
All
right.
Are we gonna talk about F1 first or Severance?
Oh, my bad. I completely skipped F1. Let's go to F1. Let's backtrack. Let's rewind. You guys will have to wait a little bit longer for Severance. Let's go, and I jumped the gun. My bad. Let's go to F1. Let's talk about F1. Hit it, Ceez. Let's talk about F1.
Look, the only reason why I bring up F1 is I know we have a race this week.
Correct.
In Canada. At Sunday, 11 a.m. on ABC. I'm gonna watch it for sure. I'm gonna try to watch it.
Right.
No, the only reason why I bring it up F1 because I've been watching the Monaco race, and I've had this question in my head all the time. Like, man, I gotta ask Sergio this question. This question. Fucking Monaco race, a great course. It's the scenery is beautiful. It's that fucking turn 10 in Monaco, where after the tunnel, they go to a turn 10 and they like dip to the left and then quickly
and then right back to the right. Yeah.
Another right.
Yeah.
So it's like my thinking is, why does these idiots just make it a straight line? And why does it have to be a turn left, turn right, then turn left and go straight again? Is it that hard to like realize that it will make the race more exciting if you just have a straight line instead of a little turn, little turn, little turn, and go. And why do they do that?
I think it's because it's a it's a it's a street circuit. So it's not like it's a racetrack, it's a street
Okay.
circuit. So it's you're doing your best with how the streets are already done. And in reality, some of these turns in some of these streets in Monaco are a little like, okay, because they've got tiny ass little cars that they're driving around in Monaco. They don't really have big cars in Monaco. Um, and so they've got these weird little turns, right? Because even the turn that they do, if you look at the turn, which would be it's the turn that puts them right into the tunnel. That's a
Mm-hmm.
really sharp turn, and then you're going down and into the tunnel, and it's like, shit, that's a tight ass turn for those cars, right? So
Yeah.
it's one of those where it's like, because it's smaller cars and things like that. So I don't know that there's a lot of leverage that they can, or a lot of changes that they can make on the track in
Okay.
Monaco,
Okay.
and it's a historic track, so they're trying to preserve as much as of its original layout as they can. Um, but they've been working to kind of make it more um, more entertaining for fans, because for a while Monaco, yes, it's a track where it's like, ooh, Monaco, right? And in terms of the drivers, they all want to win Monaco, right? There's a special thing to winning Monaco just because it's so historic, just because the glitz and the glamour. Um, so they all want to win it and everything. But in terms of an exciting race, Monaco's far from that. It's hard to pass. So like, unless you're second place and you don't get that, you don't beat first place to that first turn, which is really, really tough. Um, Most of the time that order is good. That's how it's going to finish. So it's been very boring
Yeah.
in the past. And so this year they were like, no, we're going to add an additional stop for Monaco to make it more exciting, because we're going to introduce more strategy into this. And some of the teams got away with it. We're like, yo, fuck it. We're going to run like a couple laps, dive right back in. If we're not in like the top couple of places, we're just going to dive in and get a quick tire change and be like, cool, we're done with one, to kind of compensate for that strategy or
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
Um, so it was entertaining to see the teams take different approaches to the strategy to kind of deal with. They're giving us an extra stop that we have to do so we can run another tire compound, but it still didn't yield the excitement that they thought it would. You know, it's one of those where it's
Mm-hmm.
like, I did read an article where they did mention, it's like, okay, Monaco's Monaco, but like there's not much you can do to make it more exciting. So at this point, um, what's the point of still having it? You know, are we just having it just
Okay.
because it's been
For
one of the oldest
the
tracks?
glamour.
The glamour, like, is that
Mm-hmm.
the only reason we're having it? Because in terms of excitement, doesn't really do much. You know, this new strategy that they tried.
Yeah, Lando. Yeah, Lando had it from the get go, and like other like the one like I said, to me, I was watching the race, and I'm like, dude, these fools, they want to go, but they can't pass because the streets are small.
Right.
Um, and then that like that turn 10 was getting me frustrated because like, dude, like you can see these fools just revving, and then all of a sudden they have to brake because
Right.
the
And then the
turn's
sun's in
coming,
their
and
face.
it's like, oh, that's it. Like, yeah. And some fools just say, "Fuck it," they're gonna go straight through the little
Mm-hmm.
barrier or off the track
Yeah.
and straight through, and then they have to give their space back, their spot back. So yeah, it's like, dude, frustrating. It's like, why, like, just change it. You can see the excitement is there, where the cars, where the car behind you could pass him, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, dude, like, ah, but yeah, that shit
Yeah.
was frustrating because, oh man, Jesus.
Yeah. And it even got more frustrating for teams because, like, teams that at one point fell back behind another group of cars, then it was like, so I'll give you the perfect example. Williams, right? Williams had the two that they had Mercedes behind them, and a good car in Mercedes was 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And because Williams somehow positioned themselves to have a spot for 8th or 9th and 10th, they basically told the 10th place driver, which is Carlos Sainz, they're like, yo, bro, slow the fuck down. Keep everyone behind you because it's so hard to pass. Just be a fucking snail in this shit so that like we can pit our guy and like not worry about losing any spots. So just back up traffic, and so we'll make sure that we get like 9 and 10th.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a great strategy, but it makes for a boring race, right? And at one point, like you said, some dudes on that turn were like, yo, fuck it, I'm going straight. It did get to the point where George Russell, trying to get ahead of the Williams cars, was like, yo, fuck it, I'm going to go straight. I'm not going to give the spot back. I'm going to take the penalty. But if I could dust this fool, and it should only be a 5-second penalty, I'll still be good because I'll be past him for more than 5 seconds. And they were like, no, that's not the penalty. You got to come into the pit, and it's a drive-through, which takes even longer than 5 seconds. And they're like, fuck, that didn't work out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was one of those where it's like, it does make for a boring race at that point. Like, you're watching it more, like you said, for the glitz, the glamour, the fucking big-time yachts right off the harbor in the marina, the just, it's all about the money at that point in that race. And obviously some historic. So for the purist, I can see why they don't want to let it go. For the FIA, for F1, I can see why the rumblings of, do we even want to keep doing Monaco when our sport is growing up? So it's blowing up even more because of the American interest that's kind of picked up on it. But Monaco, in terms of anything else, is a boring ass fucking race.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think they should keep it, but I think they should definitely do some tweaks on the track where we can see more passing, more speed, because it's like trust me, that's the point you said with the was it not the Williams car, the other team that was blocking them.
The other car that was blocking was Racing Bulls. Racing Bulls were doing some blocking too, and they scored a lot of points too.
Yeah. So, but no, I remember George Russell on the radio was like, "Yo, these fools are just going so slow. They're breaking all the time."
Yeah. So it was Williams. It was Williams. Both Williams cars were ahead of him.
Yeah. So it's like, dude, like you can just tell, like these fools are breaking on purpose just to hold everybody back, and this fool can keep going. Like, and then that turn just it was just getting me annoying because I was like, oh, dude, like they have to break. Look, the one thing fans hate in F1 is slow cars.
Right.
It's obvious
because they're so used to going fast.
It's exactly, so that turn makes them go slow. Get rid of that turn because we want to see fast cars. We want to see competition. We want to see passing.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like, why is it so hard for FIA to fucking realize this shit?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just frustrating.
Yeah, it is funny though because I have seen some comment and some of the things that they've talked about exploring where, like, for certain races that are not as exciting, like this, where it's really difficult to pass, they have said maybe you should flip the grid, meaning like it's not based on qualifying, it's based on points. So if you're the worst team, you're first. If you're the best team, you're last. And like that would be for some intrigue, right? Because technically, if you're the worst team, like your car sucks no matter what. Yeah. So how was that going to change things, especially in a track like Monaco, where it's really, really hard to pass? But like now it's like, okay, great. Like Lando Norris and Max Verstappen, like they're not in the front of the field, and they still got a battle to fight for in terms of points. Like, yo, how hard are they going to work to get into the points to get past some of these shittier teams? So that is. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
that
True,
might not
true.
be a bad idea to flip the grid there in terms of Monaco to add some additional excitement to be like, all right, we're just doing practices, we're not doing qualifying, and then we'll start the race based on point standings and the teams that are the shittiest. Like that
Yeah,
would be interesting. That would be really interesting. But I know there'd be a lot of
yeah. True.
controversy there. You know. And then after that was the Spanish Grand Prix. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one. I caught the highlights, but I know Piastri won.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and that's it. It was just what I remember is a straightforward race. No.
No, there was a drama with Max Verstappen. Remember, they penalized Verstappen because he ran into George Russell.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, then they gave him a 10-second penalty, which is dropped them all the way down to 10.
Okay. Okay.
You
Damn.
know, so that was yeah. In terms of like who was gonna win the race, yeah, Piastri was long gone. That wasn't
Okay.
even
Okay.
that wasn't even an issue, right? But what was an issue was um, the drama between Verstappen and George Russell. And honestly, I think Red Bull fucked up there. Their strategy was kind of
Yeah.
stupid, in my kind of opinion, and then it set Verstappen up for that drama, which doesn't make an excuse for him. Which is still interesting. There's still the debate whether he genuinely, purposely ran into George Russell, uh, or did he try to avoid him? There's video of him actually turning the wheel away from George Russell. Um,
Hmm.
so it depends how you take it, but I still think at the end of the day, Red Bull fucked that up,
Hmm.
majorly on that one and put him in a bad spot. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, in terms of drama, if you want to talk about drama, Verstappen now has 11 points on his license or his super license. Uh, he can only get up to 12, and if he gets past 12, he has to miss a race. So,
Oh shit! I didn't know that. That's
yeah.
crazy.
So, and it's based on a year. So I think he's got like a couple of points, like 2 or 3 points, I think, that expire at the end of June. But he basically has to keep his
Oh.
nose clean for the rest of June. If he doesn't and he gets to
Okay.
more than 12, and keep in mind, they don't just go like, oh, you get a point. Depending on the severity of an issue, he can get up to 2 or maybe even more points. And if he does get more than
Yeah.
2 points for something in the next couple of races, then he would be required to miss a race.
Damn, that's
Um,
crazy.
so yeah, that's why it's a bit of a big deal that he's at 11 points right now on his license. Um, so we'll see.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
see how that goes for this next race in Canada. But yeah, Canada is coming up. It's not a race that we've got to stay up for, right? It's up north with our
Mm-hmm.
Canadian with our neighbors up in Canada. Um, it's kind of nice that everything's going to be um, at a good time. So practice is on Friday. First practice on Friday at 10:30 a.m. Second practice is at 2 p.m. on Friday, and then Saturday you've got practice number 3, FP3 at 9:30, qualifying at 1 p.m., and then the race on Sunday at a decent time at 11 a.m. So for sure, I can tell you one thing I'm going to be doing on Father's Day, and that is going to be watching the Canadian Grand Prix at 11 a.m.
Gotcha.
On Father's Day. So that's one for sure I'll be doing. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Anything else you
Okay.
need me to
Okay.
cover? Any other questions you got for F1? My bad, dude. I completely skipped that shit. I don't even know why I didn't write it down.
Nah, nah, it's all good, bro. That's it. That's I wanted that turn 10 in Monaco is like fucking killing me in that race. Like, come
Fuck
on,
that turn 10.
it's breaking. Uh, like I said, Yeah, turn 10. It was braking. It was slow cars. It's like, oh man, this is not F1. F1 is about speed, going fast. These
Yeah,
motherfuckers going slow. Ah, it's killing me. But yeah,
yeah.
man, that's it though.
So
Had to get it out of me.
do
Had
you
to get it
believe
fucking.
that so you believe they should keep Monaco, but you think they should figure out a way to make it even more competitive? Maybe, like you said, maybe do away with some of the slower corners. Try and figure it out if there's an area to pass, make it easier.
Yes, I think to me the number one rule is fans want to see cars go fast and they want to see competition. They want to see
Yeah.
passing. They want to see drama. That's what
Right.
gets everybody like, oh,
Yeah.
did
Right.
you see
Right.
this pass? Did you see that pass?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Like that, it's obvious.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Um, shit. Now that you mention it, you got me. I think it was it the it wasn't the Monaco race. Was it the race before that one where I'm glad you brought up people want to see passing. Um, and I don't remember if we even talked about it, but it might have been was it yeah, it was the Italian Grand Prix. And if you want to talk about passing, I don't know if you got to see that race, but dude, the move
No,
that
I
Max
think we did
Verstappen
talk about the Max one.
that the move,
No,
yeah, bro. That, like you mentioned, that right there, that passing, whew, that was good. Like I said,
yeah,
love him or hate him, the dude went for it, and that was pretty fucking insane. Um, but yeah, you're right. People want to see passing. People want to see these guys
yeah,
put their skills on the screen for everybody to see, and that wasn't one of them. Monaco is not one of those where you're going to get a lot of passing. So we'll see if anything happens with it, and we'll see if even that rumor about them possibly doing away with Monaco ever picks up any traction. But I doubt it. Again, I think there's too much money to be made in the Monaco race.
yeah.
Um,
I don't
so-
think it's gonna be done. No,
no.
I think they should keep it. I think, but they should definitely make some tweaks because I don't want to see slow cars and put and fucking cars back to back to back to back to back and slow car.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't want to see that.
I will say the other times that Monaco has gotten interesting, it's when it's raining. Like, because then cars have like lost control.
Okay.
Then it does change the
Then I'll.
strategy. Like, as it's starting to dry up, you're like, oh shit, do we stay on these tires or do we change tires? So when it has rained, Monaco has been interesting. But if it's an all dry race, yeah, it's definitely not the most interesting. All right.
Yeah.
So
All right.
back to what we teased earlier.
Yes,
Now sticking
sir.
to our script and our schedule. Severance. So for those of you who are just now catching up, Caesar has committed himself into the world of Severance. And if you haven't caught up on Severance, you need to catch up on Severance before season 3 comes out, which I don't know when season 3 is coming out, but it you need to watch it. You just need to watch it. And Caesar's going to tell you why, because Caesar has dived into season 2, and he's going to tell us where he's at in that season and how much of a brain fuck it is.
No, yeah, I'm at season 2, episode 5. That's the last one I saw. Pretty much that episode was it? I think Helena was going back and forth with her coworkers on the second
Mm-hmm.
floor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess she was vacuuming. I think, if I remember right. I saw it like 2 weeks ago, so I'm
Yeah,
trying to remember.
they're at this point. Irving's no longer there, so they're dealing with
Yeah.
that.
Oh, and they had the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I remember. Yeah, with
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dylan requesting the funeral, and Milchick was
Right.
like, funeral. I was like, he's there, funeral." But yeah, they gave him the funeral, and it was fucking weird. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, dude. But it was same thing. Fucking mind fuck with what's his name, Milchick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Having that, I kind of felt like a whole little racist talk with Natalie. I want to say
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the other black girl. Like, I was like, "Yo, is this kind of like racial, racial feelings here?" It's like, damn,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So Yeah, and then the whole funeral, the what is it? The I think it was a fruit platter with like as Irving and shit like that. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And of
Right. Right.
course,
Right.
Dylan Dylan finding out the whole map of the what is it the export hall behind the poster and
Oh
shit.
yeah. Right.
That was
Yep.
crazy.
Correct.
I can't wait to see
Yeah.
that and where that goes. But
Yeah.
yeah, no. And then the other theory, I was watching. Of course, after that, I did a little deep dive. And the other theory I had was that, like, man, I think Helly, I think she has three. I want to say, I guess, personalities, not personalities, but she has the innie, she
Okay.
has the
The
outie,
Audi. Uh huh.
but the outie to us is like, or to me, it's like, oh, she's just in the Lumen building.
Right.
But I also think she has a third Audi or like a second Audi where she's out in the
Mm.
parking lot because I don't know if you remember in the first episode
Okay.
where Mark was, I think at the end of the episode, he's driving off and he's about to hit a person and it's Helly holding her
Right.
flowers.
Um.
And so I'm like, why would Helly or Helena,
All right.
why would she be out there holding her flowers if she was already outside Audi? Shouldn't she be like inside the building, like knowing like, yo, I'm the boss's daughter, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't go
Mm-hmm.
out to the parking lot. But why the fuck would I be way the fuck out there in the parking lot? But
That
she
is
was out
interesting.
there.
She was out there. Yeah,
Yeah, she
you're
was
right.
out. I was like, oh yeah, she was out there holding the flowers, like she was still lost. And I
Okay.
was like, damn, this is crazy. I'm like, I thought about it, I was like, damn, so there could be three personalities. I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm.
So yeah, I want to see if that's true. I've also read like the little theories that she could be pregnant. I was like, of course she could be. She fucking had sex with him, of course. Um,
Okay. All right. So you're
and I think,
okay. So you're there now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That is one of the theories that
yeah,
I had. That is one of the theories that I had. And in fact,
yeah.
uh, have you seen the episode where she's with her dad and she's eating an egg? Have you gotten to that one yet?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
I don't.
All right.
I have not. No, I haven't seen her. No. But
Okay.
I know the dad guy, that old guy, he fucking loves hard boiled eggs and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think what Helena is, I don't. To me, honestly, I don't think she's his daughter. I think she's just adopted, or she's one of the members of Lumen that's just grown up there, as a baby born there,
Oh.
and they just
Oh.
modeled her as the
Mm.
daughter of the founder and shit, because
Oh. So
she's
kind of like
tested
the
well. And
okay. That you know what? So
yeah,
so
yeah,
this is a theory that Caesar hasn't shared with me prior to this. Like we don't talk about it. We leave it so that our reactions are genuine. Um I don't dislike that theory. And I'll tell you why I don't dislike that theory because you got to remember where the fuck did did Miss Huang or Miss Wang or whatever her name is, his assistant, which is a child, where does she come from? So does
yeah,
that mean that like that kind of lends some credence to like Helly grew up in this, right? And like this the
yeah,
dude took her under her wing and is technically his daughter because she knows nothing else but this life. Um, and you're right, like in terms of what was Helly doing outside, like they've never shown what her life outside of the building is. We know everybody else's life outside of the building.
yeah.
We know Mark. We know Dylan's.
Hmm.
We know Irving's life outside of it. But we've never seen Helly's life outside of that building. We've seen her
Yeah,
Audi life, but she's in the building. She's on the
exactly.
property. We've never seen her
Hmm.
off of the property. So that that is a really good point. I did not think about that. Now I one of the things I called really early on, um, after Mark and and Helly did it was, I was like, oh, she's gonna be pregnant. Like at some point down the road, it's gonna come out because it's got to be more of a mind fuck that like, okay, like just from the mind fuck standpoint, is like, okay, cool, like let's add another moral twist to this. Like your innie knows nothing about your outie, so did he technically cheat? And now he's got a baby on the way, and then you get your outie, and you got your wife, and it's like, and then you find her, and it's like, well, wait, did Mark cheat? Like, or is it just normal life for the innie? And now the innie's got a baby. I was like, bro, like I'm like, there's no way these dudes aren't gonna twist it so that like Helly isn't pregnant. And that's before all the other shit came out. So like the minute they did it, I was like, I told my wife, I was like, oh, watch, Helly's gonna be pregnant. 100% she's gonna be pregnant. And then you're gonna watch it, and then there's other subtle clues, and I'm like, she is gonna be pregnant. So that is interesting.
Yeah, I think she will because it's obvious. It's like I think they're going into the whole baby, because in the past episodes they talked about, I know Devin, the sister, she has a baby. Colbell, she's like a baby breeder or some shit like that, and it's like,
which they thought she stole. I thought she was gonna steal the baby too.
Later in the episodes, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that, and then talk about Miss. Yeah. Exactly. Then talk about Miss Wang. Like I kind of feel Miss Wang is honestly, she's a robot.
Really? She did come in a box.
Yeah, bro. Because I'm like,
she came in a box.
Because I'm like, why? Especially for Milkshake, wouldn't he obviously be like, she's a child working here? Like, shouldn't she be in school? Like, obviously, like, I think common sense will tell you, like, yo, like, she's a child, she should be working, she should be in school, not working, you know? Unless he knows, like, oh, you're a robot, like, it doesn't matter if you're in school or not, so, you know, just work, you know, you're a robot. And another thing that led me to that is when Helly and Mark crawl into the whole the goat field in the building and shit. And I guess the herd person there, she asked them, like, let me see your belly buttons.
Yeah.
And they do show. I saw Mark show his. I didn't see Helly's. I was like, I didn't see Helly's. Okay, so they're like, oh, let me see your belly buttons. I guess that's their way of saying, okay, you guys are real, and you guys are not robots, or you're not animatronics.
Ooh, I did not think about that, because I had not thought about Miss Wang being a robot. I did see the box, and I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or the crate, whatever you want to call it. Huh.
I also remember, I don't know why, I remember that there's the creepy thing where there's like, I don't know if you remember, but there's this, I think it was episode 5, the one I last saw, where Mark's sitting down, the camera's right in front of Mark, and behind him in a hall, there's a figure. It looks like a man dressed in a suit.
And then he kind of just walks away. And then he walks away?
You could probably, yeah, he kind of just walked. Yes. I'm like, oh, that could either be a security guy, or that could be a duplicate of Mark.
Oh,
that's what they're trying to do.
Okay.
Like, oh, like, why would?
Dan, is that what he's working on? He doesn't even know.
Probably.
Wow. Which is why they need him to do it. They need him to do it so bad.
That's why I was like, oh, this is
dude, these are some good ass theories. You definitely deep diving.
Yeah, bro. I was in there, I was like, oh, this is good. I didn't think about that.
Okay.
The one I did was Helena. I was like, she has to be a third outie. It has to be something else outside the Lumen building where she does. Because she was out there in the parking lot holding the flowers, looking lost as hell. And she's like, oh, I think she told them, like, oh, learn how to drive or something like that. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But like now
I have to go back and watch that episode.
Yeah. Now that watching the whole episode, I was like, why would she be out there? If she would be inside the building.
Right.
That, I have a lot of money. I don't know. She has a driver. she doesn't need to be out there in the cars and shit, you know.
Right.
So yeah,
Hmm.
that's one where I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. All right. All right. All right.
Yeah, but
Dude,
I'm gonna keep
those are
watching.
some.
I'm gonna keep watching.
Yeah, man. Those are some damn good. That man, you were diving into it, bro.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'm gonna definitely keep watching. Definitely keep looking at the whole theories and reading up on them, and I'll keep you guys updated for sure.
Yeah, man. Let me know when you're gonna watch episode 6, so I can try to jump on it too, so that it'll be fresh
Okay,
in my
okay,
head. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, definitely. I'll jump on. I'll let you know. I'll text you for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh, bro. Episode 6. Episode 6 is a trip. I just typed it up. I was like, oh, let me look into it. Like, yeah, you're gonna trip out on
Okay,
episode
okay.
6. Yeah. Don't look it up. Don't look it up.
Okay, 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 okay. But yeah,
Oh
man, it's been good.
yeah.
It's been good.
Okay. All right. All right. Oh, this is good content. I can't wait. I can't wait
Mm-hmm.
to hear what you got to say. All right. All right. Well, let's move on to our final topic, and one that is not as enjoyable as talking about Severance or sports, but as you can tell, I'm rocking my LA hat. Cease mentioned it earlier on in the at the beginning of our podcast or episode, and I got my LA hat, especially because it's got my Mexico flag on it. But you know, some shit is going down in LA, man, and it is really really disappointing. Uh, Hurts my heart to see the shit that's going on in LA. Um, Makes me really angry about what's going on
Yeah.
in LA, and I'm ready to call out some hypocrisies, some bullshit to people, um, because this is just kind of ridiculous and it's kind of getting out of hand. So, for those of you that don't know, obviously, um, ICE has been hitting LA hard, and obviously there's a lot of bullshit that's going on because of it, and that's also, um, you know, just the morality behind it, and just the way things are being done. LA is kind of in some pretty much almost at a riot standpoint almost, and you've got Marines being deployed to fucking LA, which is some bullshit. Uh, got families being torn apart, and all because of this orange motherfucker.
Mhm.
And his fucking clown parade. So, want to get your thoughts on what's going down. Obviously, you're closer than I am, but what's going on in your head, and the bullshit that's going on in LA, man?
Yeah, like you said, it's just the first thing is just heartbreaking because it's like you see videos and then you get heartbroken and then you get hatred. You're just like, God damn.
Mm-hmm.
The thing, of course, I hate the most is that they're targeting what I feel is just honest, hardworking individuals. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
are they immigrants? Did they come to this country? Yes. That they, if you want to debate, oh, it's the crime they crossed here illegally. Really? Like they just came here to better themselves and better their family to work.
All your ancestors came here illegally,
I
motherfuckers.
agree. If they have like yeah, exactly. And but I agree. If you have a criminal history coming over here, if you have an issue, murder or whatever, yes, kick them out. Yes, you're correct on that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're honestly going after hardworking individuals who just come here for a better life, and they're separating them from their family, and that's what's heartbreaking. That's what angers, and that's just like why, like don't you see, like you said, use morality. Don't you see the moral thing is all right, cool, you're here, you're working, you're not breaking the law, pay your taxes, and that's it. That's what
Mm-hmm.
it should be. What they're going about is, oh, you crossed over here illegally, so you're automatically a criminal. Let me handcuff your ass. Let me take you away from your family, and let me send you off to another state and then send you off to another, the country where you came from, and fend for yourself. That's the hard part, where I was like, dude, like it shouldn't be like that. It's already here. Like the main thing is we all come from immigrants, one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Mm-hmm.
all immigrants. Like
Mm-hmm.
my mom's an immigrant, my dad's an immigrant. Without them thinking, let me go to another country,
Mm-hmm.
illegally or legally, whatever's.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they just came here to better themselves. My
Mm-hmm.
parents have been honest working individuals who worked here, contributed to this country. So that's it. Like they've been here a very long time. They provided for me and my brother, and there you go. And it's like, to have that taken away, to all of a sudden be like, you're a criminal, let me handcuff you, throw you in jail and shit, and toss you back over there. That's what sucks, and that's what I
Mm-hmm.
hate the most. Is like, man, these people are not criminals. They're not criminals, and it's just heartbreaking to see that shit, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I'm at a point where it's just like it's ridiculous, dude. It's
Yeah,
you know, I mean, those that knew, they knew that this was coming. I mean, they're so full of shit. They're full of hypocrisy. And at this point, it's like you're employing shady ass fucking tactics. Like the people that are following the rules, that's who
yeah,
you're punishing. The people that went to court to hear their trials and everything else. You're like, oh no, we're gonna dismiss it so we can arrest you. Really? That's some
yeah,
bullshit tactics right there, right? Like they're following the law,
yeah.
they're doing what they're supposed to, they're going to court, and you wanna play that game. Like really, like this is some really low bullshit thing that like you can't tell me and sit here if you have a conscience whether you voted for him, that this is okay. And I think that's what really makes me upset, and that's what really kind of
Yeah.
gets my blood boiling, because where are you at now? All you people that voted for him, where are you at now? um, you're all sitting kind of quiet now. I don't hear you coming out and defending his shit. I don't hear you, you know some of you motherfuckers that voted for him got family being deported. How's that working out for you, right? And so it's really upsetting to see this shit go on. And so a lot of the things that come up make me kind of lead me to my next question to you is, a lot of people on social media are like, oh fuck, fuck them, and if you voted for him or you support this, then you can unfriend me now, whatever, whatever, whatever. um which is funny because we kind of had something similar in our homie chat, right? That came up, which I was like, wow, that was interesting.
Mhm.
I kind of just I kind of stayed away. I mean, I hadn't replied to my phone because I didn't have it on me, and then I replied. I was like, whoa. Um, but yeah, what are your thoughts on how people, are like at this point are severing ties with those that might have been in support of the orange turd and their regime?
I mean, I could see they're right too, because it's like you pretty much, whoever voted for him pretty much voted for racist. That's what my opinion is. He
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is he claims he's not, but he does racial things to divide people, and that's to
Mm-hmm.
me is being a racist. Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and yeah, they should. Am I gonna do it? I don't think I would. If they voted for the president right now, it's like, fuck it. But I honestly don't want to get into politics with that, because it's like, it's a never ending story where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
just our group text where it's like, one of them was like, yo, you come from immigrants and you still voted for him, and now look. And our I'm saying, our boy Mike was like, yo, like, they're immigrant, they should go back to where they come from, where they have it good now, and blah blah blah. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, and then the other homie Bruno,
Ooh,
he
that got
was like,
heated.
nah, fool, like, you're an idiot.
Ooh, yeah, that got heated.
Yeah, he's like, nah, like, and of course I was on Bruno's side, where it's like, bro,
Yeah,
you're an immigrant, you come
and
from
they're boys,
immigrants, and
by the
how
way.
dare
For
you
the
go
record, they're
against.
boys. They are
Yeah.
boys. They are
And
homies.
so it's like, dude, like, you come from immigrants, how dare you go against. Oh, dude, and yeah, like, we used to call them the Maloof brothers, because they were like
Mm-hmm.
this close,
Mm-hmm.
like, they're good homies. But this thing is all dividing them. It's like, dude, it sucks that it's come to this, but it our boy, in my opinion, our boy Mike was wrong because it's like, dude, you come from immigrants. How dare you go against them? If
Mm-hmm.
your parents didn't come here, they immigrated here, then you probably wouldn't, be here
Mm-hmm.
and shit like that. And you have a
Mm-hmm.
good, you live in this country, you're an citizen, but now you're going against the people that try to, do the same thing as your parents did. It's like that's what's wrong with me, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, dude, it sucks to hear that, but of course they're entitled to their opinion, but oh man, and then of course the president, he's just inflaming shit with bringing in the military, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, like National Guard, now the Marines, like you really don't need to do that shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just ICE. ICE is, like you said, doing some shady shit, going to Home Depots, fucking. I think they're just arresting. I think ICE is actually looking for an individual, a criminal individual that looks like an immigrant, and they're going to Home Depot and saying, you know what, all these fools look like him. Let's just round them up, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll find them when we get to our home base or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and
And if
chances
we
are they
find
won't
that
have
they're illegally
documentation, so it
here,
doesn't matter.
then
They picked them up.
yeah. So that's what I think is happening. And it's just a shady ass tactic, man. It's like, oh, you motherfuckers. And
Mm-hmm.
another thing, what I do, because I've been thinking about it, looking at the videos
Mm-hmm.
and everything. What I would do if and I kind of feel like I want to, but I would go out there and start putting up like Nazi flags wherever the fuck these ICE agents are, or wherever the fuck they're having their little guard line for the
Mm-hmm.
National Guard, because that's what to me honestly it's looking like. It looks like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nazis rounding
The
up the
Jews.
Jews,
Mm-hmm.
uh, putting them in handcuffs, putting them on the trains, putting them in the bus, and there you go. That's what it looks like to me. And it's like we should honestly get the attention of the Jewish people, because they technically run the country with their whole entertainment, their money. And if one individual puts up a flag, a Nazi flag in front of these guards that are holding the line, the police or whatever, the National Guard, and they take a picture, that picture is worth 1,000 words. And I think they somebody should do it, and I hope somebody does do it, because that would be that would this is what it reminds me: the Nazis rounding up the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. Or spray paint one of the ICE cars with a Nazi emblem on it, because that's essentially what it is. Um, and that
Yep.
it's funny that you mentioned that, because
And I thought about that,
yeah, go ahead.
and I thought about that. Sorry, I thought about that because I'm like, oh, cool. They could spray paint, Nazi, symbols on the cars, and I'm sure the ICE agents will be like, we don't want to take that car out anymore because it has that, thing on it,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
associated with that. So let's put
No.
this car out of commission. So,
Mm-hmm.
the protesters, what they should do is put them on all the cars so they can put all
Mm-hmm.
the cars out of commission.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that you say that, because I've been thinking about it long and hard. Whoa, pause. But but just kind of this whole situation is kind of really kind of annoyed me, and really disappoints me, and I do see why people are like, fuck it, unfriend me, and I am to a point where, if you support this bullshit, if you voted for him, um like, I am at a point where I'm gonna say, well, fuck you. Like, I don't give a fuck to associate with you, because at the end of the day, like I said it before, I don't have time for stupid people. Whether you're on the left or the right, I ain't got time for
Yeah.
stupid people. I don't have time for hypocrites. I can't stand hypocrites. And so it is getting to the point where it's like, whether you're a friend of your family and you voted for this, well, fuck you, because I could have told you this was coming. Everybody could have told you this was coming. And if you're going to sit here and be like, well, I didn't think this was going to happen, well, then you're fucking stupid. And if you're fucking stupid, then I ain't got time to pay attention to you. You're too stupid to qualify to be in my circle at any point in time, which is the outer circle, the inner circle. I don't give a fuck. You're too stupid. You don't deserve to be in my inner circle, and I don't want to be associated with you. So fuck you. So fuck Trump, fuck ICE, and fuck you. at the end of the day. I'm going to call out the hypocrites. I'm going to call out where are all these religious ass fucking fanatic ass motherfuckers who are like, oh, I'm pro-life. Where are you at now? Why are you so quiet if you're pro-life? Where are you at for these babies whose parents are getting fucking pulled away from them, and these kids are going to get lost in the system because their parents got pulled away, or these kids are getting picked up and they're going to get lost in the system, or they're going to get shipped off somewhere else? Where are you pro-life motherfuckers now? Does it not fit your agenda now? Does it not work for you now? So where are you all, you quiet ass pro-life motherfuckers that are my friends and family on my feeds, and everyone else that I know who you are. I know who the fuck you are, and fuck you. Frankly, just fuck you. I don't give a shit about you. You're a hypocrite. You want to talk about pro-life and you want to talk about religion? No, you're in a cult. I hate to break it to you. You're in a fucking cult. This is bullshit. You're not pro-life. Just you're pro-life when it suits your fucking agenda. And the same thing for the Jews. Like, I don't know that it's going to happen because I don't like hypocrisy, right? But like, that one's hard because for most of the whole Palestinian and Israel bullshit, like a lot of our gente are like, oh yeah, no, we got you, Israel, we got your back, right? Like, not really. It was almost, if I want to say, it was almost like, yo, Israel, you're fucking up Palestine. Like, that's not cool. But I will say, and I'm a huge buff of World War II. I love learning facts, but it baffles me how people have forgotten the old saying that is like, if you ignore history, if you ignore the past, it's going to repeat itself. And this is literally repeating itself. And for people that were in, the people that realized what was happening with the Jews, if you can't see it now, you're fucking dumb. You're fucking dumb as shit. Like, this is literally what they're doing, and he's bending all the rules to get his way. And what the fuck did Hitler do? He bent the rules to get his way. You're coming after the working class. Why? Why are you coming after the people that are working? Like you said you were going to go after the criminals. You said you were going to go after the bad hombres. Really? Because you're rounding everybody up at this point. You got people at fucking HP High's graduation who can't even get out of HP High because they tell them, no, you know what? Fuck it. Stay inside because ICE is waiting outside. That is some bullshit, bro. What criminal are you looking to pick up at a high school graduation? You want to talk about, we got all these laws that say, yo, we can't chase criminals because they're speeding. We know where they live, so we'll pick them up there. Oh, okay, but cool. You want to fucking pick up family members and shit at a graduation? Really? You want to talk about picking up little kids from elementary schools? Really? Like, don't give me this bullshit. Don't give me this is what you voted for and this is what you support. If this is what you voted for and you don't support it, well, you still fucked up. You're still a pendejo. Fuck you. I ain't got time for pendejos. You don't have common sense. You don't deserve to be on this earth. You fucked up. You reap the consequences of your actions. If this is what you voted for, you're a pendejo. You lay in it. You eat it. You deal with it. That's it. And an apology for you voting for him is not going to make it better. You're a pendejo in my eyes, and I will never forgive you because this was common sense. You could have seen this fucking coming. It's not that hard. You could have seen it fucking coming a mile away. So I'm just tired of the hypocrites. I'm tired of this bullshit. And I'm going to be fucking frank. 45 should have met a 45. It wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world if that dumb motherfucker didn't miss by an inch. 45 should have met 45. I don't give a fuck what you say. You can put me on blast. I don't give a shit. I'm tired of being politically correct because you know what? One side doesn't give a shit about being politically correct. Okay? One side doesn't care about life. So I'm going to be petty. I'm going to play that level. So as far as I'm concerned, there's maybe one president who deserves it, and 45 should have met a 45, and it probably wouldn't even be as bad as the shit that's going on right now. It's that simple. You don't like it? Too fucking bad. I said it. It is that simple. I said it. 45 should have met a 45. Plain and simple. Because fuck that puto. Fuck his organization. Fuck everything he stands for, and fuck everybody that supports him. I hope they all burn in hell. It's that simple. I hope they all burn in hell. Ain't nothing right about this bullshit. Not at all, dude. It's hypocrisy at the highest fucking level, and it's like
Yeah.
it makes you wonder like why you're doing this. Because guess what else? I wouldn't be surprised if you. This will be a topic for our boy Mike, who loves conspiracies. But what else can be the end result of this too? You're scaring people out of California. Even if you've got papers, how many times have we heard of people with papers getting pulled over and accidentally being fucking taken away? There's plenty of that going on.
Oh yeah, it could happen.
So what's going to happen? They're going to scare people out of fucking California. No, and who do you think is going to move in?
And who? They're like, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who do you think is going to move in? I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to make California a red state. Because ain't no way you're ever going to flip California to be a red state. Never. Not it be normal. You're not going to flip California. But when you start scaring motherfuckers out who are legit, who've got papers, who went through the immigration process, who have been a citizen for 20 plus years now, like our parents or whatever, like, you don't think they're scared? You don't think they're like, yo, I'm scared that like I'm going to get thrown in even though I've got all my shit and I've never done anything wrong. Like, so what's going to be their option? They're going to flee. They're going to leave. And what's going to happen? Who the fuck you think is going to buy a property? You know, man. So that's why I said, like, man, fuck these dudes, dude. I don't give a shit. And I'll put it out there. If you voted for him and you support this bullshit, well, fuck you too. And if you don't support this, but you still voted for him, fuck you too. It's that simple. Like, none of this is okay.
No, yeah, it's no, none of it is good. It just leads more divide. And like I said, it's gonna lead, like, he's gonna say, all right, immigrants, you guys get out. Like, oh, you're a son, a daughter of immigrants. Oh, you get out too, even though you have citizenship here. Now we're changing that. It's just tell, like, this asshole is a racist motherfucker. He doesn't give a shit about other races, and he's just gonna say, you know what, I have the rule, and get the fuck out of here. And that's what I hate the most. That this asshole has so much power, and that you know, God-fearing people don't see that this fool is a hypocrite, a liar, one of the dirtiest motherfuckers on this world, and they still vote for his ass, and they still love his ass. It's like, why? Like, it's just common sense that fucking people don't see. It's like, fuck, I hate this, man. Like, dude, that's common sense. This fucking, the orange guy is a fucking asshole. He shouldn't be president. Oh man, it's so fucking, it pisses me off. It's like, dude, like, it's obvious that he's not good.
I mean, wasn't Jesus an immigrant himself? So where you fucking hypocrites at?
Exactly.
I'm like, wasn't it? I'm like, you're gonna tell me that your God and Jesus are okay with you standing by while children are being ripped away from their parents, or the parents are being ripped away from the children? Like, because that's what Jesus stood for, right? Like that's what Jesus stood for. You put a man in power because that's what Jesus stood for. Like, really? Where you all? Where all you fucking religious ass right wing righteous people at now? You know, you're fucking real quiet now. You know, and I don't see them.
Yeah, it's hypocrisy.
Yeah, and I can't stand hypocrites. I don't see them rounding up Middle Eastern immigrants. I don't see them rounding up Asian immigrants. I don't see them rounding up fucking Canadian immigrants. I don't see them rounding up South African immigrants. You know, well, I don't see you rounding up all the immigrants, right? Like, you're not coming hard after them. You know, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it'll start with us. And then all you immigrants that you thought you were white, that you thought you were fine, like all you Asian people that thought you were fine because you hang out with the whites, he's gonna flip on you too. Like, it's ridiculous, dude, and it's bullshit. So yeah, I'm just tired of the hypocrisy, dude. I don't give a fuck. I'm at a point where it's like, fuck you, fuck everyone else that's okay with this bullshit, and And if you vote, like I said, don't talk to me if you voted for him. You got no fucking right. Like, there's no place, there's nothing you can say to make it okay. It just, if you couldn't see it coming a mile away, then you're too fucking stupid. You don't deserve to vote. It's that simple. You don't deserve to vote. Just like you got to earn the right to fucking drive. At this point, you got to earn the fucking right to vote because you're too fucking stupid. You're a danger to the world if you don't know how to fucking vote. So, yeah, man, that was my rant. I really want to get that out because I'm so pissed off at this bullshit. It pains me to see what's going on in my hometown. A lot of the places that I grew up in and are is familiar with, and to see the bullshit that's going on, to see what some of these families are going through, bro. It is literally a repetition of all the bullshit that it's history repeating itself, bro. It's scary. It's scary. The words that Anne Frank had to say fucking resonate and apply right now. And how quickly it seems like people have forgotten all that bullshit, That to me really fucking, man.
And to the Nazis, she was a criminal.
Yeah.
And to to this, people that voted for Trump was like, the immigrants are criminals. Like, no, they're not assholes. They're just like Anne Frank, trying to live peacefully in a world where you guys always fuck up and shit.
Their parents came here. Their parents all came here illegally, and it's like, oh, it's because time passed. That's in the past. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Again, convenient, huh? It's convenient. Exactly. It passed. Okay. No, fuck you. You're the child of an immigrant too. I don't give a fuck how old it is. Just nope. Get your white ass out of here too. Get your fucking pilgrims and get the fuck out of here too.
If it was that easy,
right? Yep. Yeah, man. That's
the heart. That's what upsetting. That I think these white people that think, I think their history started when they landed here, and they have no history in Europe. For them, it's like, fuck it. Like, my history starts here, and that's it. Like, all that.
Like, no, motherfucker.
Let me forget about it, because.
No, they were illegal too. They were illegal too. Yeah, fuck that.
They're immigrants too. Like,
No, your ancestors were escaping fucking persecution. Exactly. They were escaping persecution. That's why they left. Right?
They just left because they have nothing back there, and they said, "Fuck it, let it go to this."
Yeah. And so, what did our ancestors do? The same fucking thing.
Yep.
They're either escaping persecution, escaping death, or trying to get a better life. Yeah. Again, the topic has always been fine. Take the bad ones, the ones that don't deserve to be here. But no, you don't want to spend the time to develop, whether it's the left or the right. You don't want to take the time to develop a fucking system that it says, nah, we're going to dedicate a boatload of money so that we can identify who deserves to be here and who doesn't deserve to be here. Like, we're going to vet you very well. Nope, sorry, you're get the fuck out. Right? But no, it's like we ignore that bullshit, and then you get these dumb motherfuckers that are in power, and then it's like, oh, we're just going to put everything under an umbrella and be like, everything's out. No, fuck that bullshit, bro.
That's the fucked up part.
Not to mention that your fucking president's a rapist and a fucking child predator, and fucking even his boy Elon Musk called him out for being a pedo. And no, they'll look the other way. All his supporters will look the other way. So that's why I say fuck you. You voted for him, fuck you. It's that simple.
Hypocrites.
Yep. That's hypocrites, bro. Oh, I hate pedos. Oh, but you voted for one. Right? Oh, I hate sexual predators.
It's all about America.
Right.
But it's all about America, and this one does he cursed. That's about history. He fucking tax evader.
Didn't serve in the military because he's a coward.
And now all of a sudden he's America. Like, no, get the fuck out of here.
Nah,
Yes,
you
man.
got people are too fucking stupid. He played the
Yep.
system, and he played the stupid people, and the stupid people won because he realized there's more stupid people than intelligent people in our country,
Yep.
and that's why they won. Because he's like, oh, I know there's way bunch more gullible fucking idiots, and that's why I won. And a lot of that chunk
Mm-hmm.
is the religious fucking fanatics that so blind that they're willing to look at the other way. It's like, oh, our religion doesn't believe in pedos, but you voted for one. No, that's not
And this
true.
idiot doesn't even. I'm telling you, Trump is not even religious. He's
He's
one.
not. He's not.
Oh, dog.
He, he's,
Yeah.
when did that motherfucker ever go to church prior to this?
Nope.
Ain't no pictures of this motherfucker being a devout Christian or devout whatever,
Nah.
going to church.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this holy man. No, what the fuck? Dudes have more wives left than right. How's that working your religion? You know, it's like, yeah,
And
it,
he has how many wives? He has had how many wives? Oh,
yeah, that's
God.
what I'm saying. Which his wife's an immigrant, by the way.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't
All
stand
right, dog.
hypocrisy, dude.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah. I get you, dog. I get you. I know.
Yeah, man, I just had to let that shit out. It's been eating at me. It's been eating at me.
No, I mean, next podcast you can let some more out, man, because I'm sure there's gonna be more topics with this idiot and fucking just let it out, man. Let it out.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I'm this close to wanting to go with my family to LA just so I can press that the
The book.
checkpoint between Arizona and California and just be like, fuck you. Big ass fuck you.
Yep.
You know, and tell the motherfuckers, those brown motherfuckers, you should be ashamed of yourself. Fuck you. Fucking
Mm-hmm.
coconut. Fuck you.
Yep.
You know, but yeah,
And
man.
that's
Go
what I
ahead.
feel every national guardsman, even the Marines. I definitely be like, motherfucker, I'm pretty. You look like a fucking nopal and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You look like a
Mm-hmm.
coconut. Your fucking parents are immigrants. How the fuck you here
Mm-hmm.
trying to stop people from living a better country and shit?
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, that shit just upsetting and shit, man.
Yeah, I do think that's weird. Like, if you took an oath to defend this country, to defend the Constitution, like, you're too much of a coward, bro, to stand up. Like, if you're a Marine, this isn't what you were trained for. You weren't trained to be used on your own
Mm-hmm.
people, bro. Like, that's it. Like,
Yep.
that tells me that you don't have a brain. That tells me that I understand there's a brotherhood, and I understand that you gotta, it's a family or whatever. But at some point, bro, you got to be able to use your brain. You got to be able to be
Mm-hmm.
like, I have a brain, and this shit doesn't apply to what I signed up for. But
Yeah.
you too scared, or you don't have a brain. It's that simple. You don't fucking really stand up for your fucking morals and your integrity. You've just been brainwashed, and that's the sad part, bro. I have the utmost respect for the military, people that put their life on the line and sacrifice. But like,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to this, bro, you're not defending your country. Who you defending your country against? Ain't no immigrant over here gonna be like, we're taking over the country. No, they're not taking over the country. They're not trying to install some regime that no. The people trying to install fucking a monarchy are in the fucking White House right now. Dude's trying to
Mm-hmm.
be your
Yep.
king.
Authority.
Yeah, he's trying to be your fucking
Exactly.
king. And that's who you should be worried about if you're a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
Not the people that go
Yeah.
fucking Home Depot. Like, really? Like I said, it's some bullshit. I hope.
It
Listen.
is, but
I wouldn't be sad if 45 met a 45. I'm just telling you right now. I won't
mm,
be sad.
nope.
I won't be. Now you understand why in third world countries, when some fucking random ass authoritarian motherfucker gets, ended, there's a big portion of the country was like, yeah, it's like, yeah, yeah. That's what it's going to get to. That if that happens here,
Oh yeah.
it's going to be because this is fucking ridiculous, bro. We're turning into anarchy because of this dumb fuck and everybody that voted for him. But all right, that's gonna do it, man. That puts us we're way over. We're over 2 hours, and I think that's a pretty interesting topic to end it on. If you agree, disagree, put that shit in the comments.
But I'm sure there'll be more, and we'll comment more. Definitely.
Yep. So that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Ending on a very controversial topic for us here at HCP, Homie Connect Podcast, episode 37, with some very strong feelings at the end. I want to thank Ceez for rocking with us tonight. As always, coming through in the clutch. Ceez, go ahead and say a word to the peeps before we head out.
Man, shout out to all my peoples out there, immigrants, citizens, whatever you are. Just keep it up. We're behind you guys. We love you guys. We're praying for you guys. Fuck Donald Trump. Go Dodgers.
Yeah, I echo what C says. Keep your head held up high. Much love to my LA peeps, to my brown folks, to everyone struggling and dealing with this bullshit drama right now. Like C said, got you my thoughts, my prayers. I wish there was more that I could do. It really sucks to kind of feel helpless, at times as to what you can do, but know that I'm right there with you, and I hope it gets better soon, because this is just ridiculous. But much love to my LA people. I won't say go LA Dodgers, because we're talking about a different thing. So definitely go LA, and LA. Show out LA. Show out. Be resist as much as you can, and set an example for the rest of the fucking nation. That doesn't matter what they send out to LA. LA will represent. California will represent, and we're not scared of some fucking tyrant in the White House. So yeah, fuck Trump, fuck ICE, fuck MAGA, and fuck you too for voting for him. With that said, good night, and fuck Donald Trump. Deuces.